And is usually the case, I'm spending a lot of time looking for shit because I don't have shit together. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Amy, and this is going to be my intro video. Normally I know that these videos are usually pretty short and explain the purpose of having the channel and maybe a few basics about the person. But that's not this video because I'm new to this and I tend to be a little long-winded sometimes. So I just wanted to welcome you, tell you that I'm going to be putting on this look that you see right here. And while this isn't exactly a tutorial, I will be explaining what I'm doing a little bit and showing you the products that I'm using. And I will list those down below in the description box and provide links where I can. Hey guys, I just wanted to insert this into my introduction video because as I was going through the footage, I realized that my video is going to be super long. It's going to be probably an hour long, maybe not quite. I'm going to try to pare it down some more, but I wanted to let you know ahead of time, if you plan to watch this really long video, grab a drink, grab a snack, you know, go to the bathroom beforehand. Just kidding. I forgot to add one thing, and that is that I'm going to include a link to my Instagram page where I upload almost every day, usually pictures, sometimes short videos, sometimes IGTV. And yeah, I wanted to be sure to include that and encourage you to follow me there because I will definitely get more stuff up there than I do here on YouTube, I think. But yeah, I think that's about it. Also, I guess I'll take this opportunity to share how my makeup is looking now. This is like 8 hours later, 10 hours later. And I think it's held up pretty good. It's looking a little worn, but not too bad. I mean, I haven't really been doing anything other than sitting on my ass trying to edit this video. And but you know, that's how these things are. I'm hoping that I will get quicker at it, and also, you know, I think having a video with a little bit less story time in it and so on will also help keep them a little bit shorter. So I know that this is really long, and if you stick with me until the end, I thank you very much. And okay, gonna get back to the regularly scheduled intro. I know that the world doesn't really need another beauty YouTuber or another art YouTuber, but I need to do this for myself, and I am excited about it, and I hope that you will join me here, and I hope to post several times a week. We'll see how that goes. I'm new at editing, and that seems to take me the longest amount of time. And yeah, I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. I know you have a lot of choices about what to watch out there in YouTube land and on television and what to look at on Instagram and Facebook and all of the other things. So I appreciate your time here. Anyway, yeah, I think that's about it for now. This video is all over the map. I'm warning you ahead of time. So if you don't have a few minutes to spend here, then you can always come back later, right? Anyway, thank you so much. Without further ado or more rambling, let's get right into the video. Hey guys, I think I'm ready for this. I am hopped up on 49 cups of coffee, some sugar from a homemade cinnamon roll, and I got my period. So let's do this. I think I'm gonna go put my hair up and we're gonna get right to it. Okay, so I got a couple of new things that I'm gonna try today. One of them is not really all that new. I got a new color because I have a little bit of a self-tan on, and I have this particular product in other colors for like my winter shade, but I went ahead and picked up the shade 3-in-1 in the Double Wear Light foundation. Now I know that this has a lot of negative reviews, or not good reviews on places like Ulta, but for whatever reason, I like it. It seems to work for me. The other new thing that I have is a new highlighter palette from Essence, new to me. I think it's been out for a while. And I'm going to start with my eyes and just do something kind of fun, not going anywhere, but that's kind of the state for us all right now. I've been putting this intro filming off for weeks now because I just think I don't know what to say about myself. It's hard to know, you know, if somebody just comes along and says, tell me about yourself. It's like, the hell do you say? You know, it's like, so I don't know. I'm just gonna kind of wing it and do a little makeup, and I will link everything in the description box below, or at least list it. So I'm gonna get started with my eyes, and like I say, I think I'm just gonna do kind of a fun look today, because I had done a look a couple of days ago that I actually really liked, but I wanted to try it with just a little bit different, I don't know, not color scheme exactly, but like a little bit more of an intense color underneath, because I'm going to be using a Stila Glitter and Glow shadow to go over the top of it. And I had done it over kind of a pink color, peachy pink color, and I really liked it. And but I thought, well, I feel like this would be even better with something a little bit brighter. So because the glitter is kind of a blue pink duochrome shift, which sounds like it will be really weird over what I plan to do, which is kind of a bright, intense, kind of a burnt orange. So anyway, hi, my name is Amy. These things always seem so stunted, or I don't know, there's just something that's really difficult about getting on camera and sort of, I don't know, just talking about yourself and trying to, I don't know, tell people a little bit about yourself so that they can maybe connect with you, so that you can connect with them. And, you know, how do you sum up your life for the camera? I don't really know. So like I say, we're just winging it here. And I'm going to keep it super cash and try not to swear too much, because I got a sailor's mouth sometimes. But I am just priming my lids a little bit with, this is the Urban Decay anti-aging primer. It's fine. All eye primers I find are usually adequate. So I'm going to start with a ColourPop palette to do some color in the crease. And this is the A Flutter palette, and I will insert pictures of everything that I use as I go, I hope. So I'm going to take the color Satin Wings, which is kind of a peachy color, and I'm just going to put that right in the crease. One thing I am going to try to do is do all of my talking while I'm doing one eye, so that the other eye I can either speed through or edit out, so that you don't have to watch me do the same thing to both eyes. Because this isn't really like a tutorial exactly. I need something to do while I'm filming. I need something to talk about. Unless I'm doing just my makeup with no, you know, no talking at all or anything, something for Instagram or something like that. So I've pretty much used everything on my brush, and I'm just going to kind of blend out the edges here. So yeah, where do I start? I don't even know where to start. I want my channel to be about makeup and fun stuff. I plan to do empties and reviews of a sort. And I don't know, I like to have fun with my makeup. I'm 50, I'll be 51 in about a month. And so I'm not really all that, I like colorful looks, and so I'm not really into like the mode of thinking of, well, once you're past a certain age, you shouldn't wear this, that, or the other. You shouldn't wear glitter, so on and so forth. So I'm just taking a darker color. This is one of the oranges that I wanted to use. This is the color Smoke Show from the Tarte Spicy Betch palette, which I have not used this, so I'm kind of, I've been kind of excited to try it. I've had it for a while, but this is my first rodeo with it, which is maybe not the wisest decision, given that this is my intro video and things could go sideways. But you know, that's life, right? And I thought, well, if I wait until I'm quote unquote ready, I'm never going to be ready. I could put this off for the rest of time. But this is something that I really have been interested in doing, wanted to do for a long time. And my life is such now that I can do it. So let's see, we'll start out with the basics. Like I say, I'm 50. I'm married. I have been married for, it will be 30 years this October, which I feel is a real accomplishment these days. Not to toot my own horn. I feel very fortunate that we've made it this far. And I don't have any kids by choice. And I've got 3 cats, and I'll insert pictures of them here because I like to see other people's pets, and maybe you do too. Anyway, I have Florence and Sebastian and Lulu. Lulu is my oldest cat, and she is, I believe she is 10. She is a short hair exotic, which basically means she's a short-haired Persian. And Florence and Sebastian are shelter adoptees. We got them last October. And they are a handful. Lulu is very much in the traditional Persian sense, she's very much a ground kitty. But Florence and Sebastian, they are vertical. So I spend a lot of my time saying, don't do that, don't eat that, get down from there, get off of that. So I am using the shade Caliente from that same palette, and it's really pretty. It's really, it's intense, which is what I wanted. Okay, before I go on to do, actually I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit, I'm going to put some of that on my lid. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to darken that outer crease V with a little bit of, I think, brown, just to deepen it up a touch. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add that Caliente color onto my lid. And that's pretty. That's definitely the kind of intensity that I want under this glitter that I plan to use. Intense, yes. Okay, let me see if I can find a brown to put into my, if I can find a brown. I have more makeup than should be legal. I'm going to go find a brown to put in my outer V and a little bit in my crease, and I will be right back. Okay, so I have pulled the Nude Rich palette from Huda Beauty, and I'm going to use the darkest color in here. It's actually more of a, I think it's going to look a little bit more purple. It looks a little more purple in the pan. We'll see what it looks like over this. But I just want to add some depth here without taking away that color on the lid, because I definitely want that. And I'm kind of working it not putting anything else on my brush. I'm just kind of working it towards the inner corner here. And we'll kind of smoke this out a little bit. And then I'll blend it a little bit more too, of course. And I'm pretty impatient when it comes to blending sometimes, so I need to be careful about that, because I figure if people are gonna watch this, I don't want it to always be a do as I say and not as I do kind of thing. But this seems to be working pretty good as far as the color. So one of the reasons that I wanted to do this, and like I say, I've wanted to do this for a long time, but I spent from 2004 until 2018 taking care of my mom. And my mom passed away in 2018. And so I've spent basically the last year and a half sort of floundering and trying to figure out what I want to do with myself. And this time last year, I was doing a lot of artwork and spending a lot of time in my studio. I spent a long time sort of tidying up and reorganizing and that kind of thing, which was really, that was good. It was good to go into my studio, touch all of my things, see all of my things, be inspired, get ideas. I took a class in June, in June, and that was further inspiration for me. And, you know, I went hot and heavy there for about 3 months. And then about July, things just kind of, I don't know, I'm not sure what happened, if I just hit a roadblock or what. But I don't know, I guess I've been dealing with some artist block in a way since about that time. Now that doesn't mean that I haven't done anything, but I haven't spent the time in my studio that I really want to. So I feel like I got that pretty well blended. I'm going to go back into the A Flutter palette from ColourPop, and I'm going to take the color Transcend. And this is kind of a flesh color, kind of a light peachy color, and I'm just going to use that kind of on the edge here, just to make sure that everything's blended out pretty good. I don't know about you, but I always have more trouble with one eye than I do the other, and it depends on the day which eye it is that gives me trouble. So anyway, back to my story. Where was I? Oh yeah. So I spent a good part of the late spring and early summer doing artwork and was having a lot of fun, just kind of hit a roadblock. And it was like I couldn't, I don't know, I couldn't do it. I couldn't make it happen. And the idea of making YouTube videos has appealed to me for a really long time. So this is not something that's like new to me. I mean, as far as the wanting to do it. And you know, I guess one day I was just like, you know, are you going to do it or are you not going to do it? You know, shit or get off the pot. So, yeah, I kind of adjusted my vanity, got some lights. I'm just filming on my phone and my lights are not fancy and hopefully they look okay. I have no idea. And I thought I'm just going to practice. I'm just going to film some stuff, see how it goes, try to learn an editing program a bit and see how that goes. And I've been having fun with it, but it's like I need to make it real. So here I am. All right, I'm going in with that glitter shadow that I was telling you about over that orange. And I like to put this on with a brush as opposed to the little applicator thing. For me, I don't know, I like the control that it gives me. And this is pretty good stuff. It tends to pretty much stay where you put it. You can build it up or leave it pretty sheer. I'm going to go mostly out to the edge here. Okay, I think that'll do. I basically took this all the way up to meet that darker brown and just over it a touch. Because I have hooded eyes, the chances are this is going to transfer a little bit up. But I don't know, I'm so used to that I guess I just kind of deal. Once that dries down, I am going to do a little bit of cleanup, and I am going to put on some, I think I'm going to do dark brown in my tight line. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and tight line, and I might do some dark brown on the upper lash line and maybe wing it out just a little bit. I'm going to use, I think for my wing and my upper lash line, the Inglot liner with the Duraline from Inglot and a little brush, because I find that being able to thin out the liner and make it flow a little bit more works better for my 50-year-old eyes, and I feel like it gives me a little bit more control. Okay, I'm back and I've got dark brown liner on my upper inner rim and wings. They maybe drove by each other on the freeway. I'm not sure if they're any more related than that, but you know, that's real life. We're going with it. I use the Ulta Beauty Gel Eyeliner in the color Mink, just in case you are wondering. Okay, so we're going to move on to the skin. And I've really been enjoying this little sample of this CeraVe hydrating sunscreen, and it's for the face, and it's a sheer tint, so it's got a little bit of a color to it. Not much. I mean, it would definitely do the trick if you wanted to go out with no, nothing on, no foundation or anything like that, because it does add just the tiniest bit of color and definitely a pretty glow. It's a mineral sunscreen, which is one of the reasons I like it, because most of the time the chemical sunscreens, they tend to want to break me out. So I try to avoid them for my actual sunscreen. Most complexion products, foundations and stuff, have chemical sunscreens in them. So I just kind of keep that in mind. So anyway, yeah, as I was saying, I did a lot of artwork and then I just kind of stopped. And I feel like for the last, I don't know, 6 or 9 months or so, I've just been kind of, I don't know, struggling, trying to figure out what it is that I want to do with myself that will be reasonably productive, not seem like I'm just, wasting every single day. And I thought, you've got the time now, which is, the reason I have the time now is definitely hard, because my mom and I spent a lot of time together. She lived with me for 14 years, and we spent a lot of time together. We did everything together. And so she passed away really suddenly. And maybe I'll share that story someday. Not today, because we're trying to keep this, you know, a little bit more cash, a little lighter. Let's not overwhelm you with emotional stuff. And anyway, so yeah, trying to figure out what I want to do with myself on the daily. And we're going to give this a go. And one thing I plan to do on my channel is do some artwork on my channel. And I haven't quite decided exactly what I want to do, but I'm mostly a painter. And so likely what I will share on my channel as far as art will have to do with painting. But I also do some quilting. I make jewelry. I really need to spend some time updating my website because it's woefully out of date. So although I will link it below, just keep that in mind when you go visit, if you go visit. Even if you go visit, thank you. So I like this foundation because it's not super matte. It looks quite glowy right now, I think, because, well, I just put it on for one thing. And it's one of the few that look decent on my nose, which my nose is my problem area. And I feel like that's pretty good. That's not too bad of a color for blending in with my questionable self-tanner job here. Because normally I'm super pale. But you know, it being summer and all. I'm sorry guys, this video is like all over the place. I have a feeling that that's just how it's going to be on my channel. I am going to go in with the Urban Decay Naked, Stay Naked concealer. And this is the color, let me look, 40NN. And the only reason that I'm using this one is because it's about the only one that I have that isn't too light for me right now. Especially given that I've been using a little bit darker foundations and stuff. Let me grab my little brush here, and you'll notice that I didn't put heaps of concealer on. That's just not my jam, and I don't like the way that it looks on me. It would probably look fine if I put, you know, the big triangle under there on camera or in pictures. But, and of course I want my pictures to look good for Instagram and such, but I also want my makeup to look good in real life. If somebody sees me at the grocery store or something, which is, let's be honest, the only place we're going these days, I want it to look good. I don't want it to look like a cakey mess or like I have makeup on for pictures or camera or whatever, because that's not real life. That is a moment in time. So the way I've been applying my concealer lately is thanks to Robert Welsh. And if you watch him, you'll know what I'm talking about. But he's a big advocate of not putting so much crap under there. Those are my words, not his. So anyway, blend with a brush and pat it out with my sponge. And then I always go over my face, especially my mouth area and my forehead, just to make sure I pick up any excess foundation in case I got a little carried away. But in general, that I think is pretty good. And because we've got Aunt Flo visiting, we got a little friend or two here that I'm going to try to cover up a little bit. And I'm going to let that sit for just a second while I figure out what my next step is here. And I'm just going to push that into my skin a little bit. I'm not all that interested in covering up every dark circle, every blemish, every freckle, well, you can't cover up wrinkles. And I've got a very expressive face, especially my forehead. That's the thing. That's the thing that will crease. You know, I can live with a little creasing under my eyes and around my mouth and stuff like that. That's just, I mean, unless you're 6, you're going to have some creasing, I think, under there. And I am going under my eyes with a little tiny bit of powder. This is the Laura Mercier Blur and, let's see, let me look. Secret Blurring Powder. And I use a very light hand with the powders. So I try to avoid over powdering, and I sure as hell don't bake. So I'm going to go in with some cream products now. So this is the Fenty Cream Contour. This is the contour shade in Amber. And I like this really a lot. It's quite gray, it's quite cool. But it blends out so nice. And I don't, you know, I'm not super anal about that initial application. I just get a little bit on there. And then I go in with a kind of a smaller angled brush. And I'm not big on contouring my nose, but I find that I've been doing a little bit more of it since I got this product, because it is A, it's a cream, and B, it seems like it's the right color for me. At least I feel like it is. And it blends out so nice so that I don't feel like I've got that racing stripe thing down my nose, which, you know, that's why I never really contoured my nose very much before, is because I'm like, that looks stupid. If I can see it, you can bet that other people can see it, and I don't want that. So, and then I'm going to put a little bit of this under my chin, because, you know, Mama's got a little bit of a double chin, and that's all right. And I tend to, because I tend to be a little bit more jowly, that's a hereditary thing, and I'm sure that's a technical term, I bring it up just the tiniest bit onto that area. And I mean tiny. Again, I don't want people to be able to see it. I want it to be there, I want it to do its job, but I don't necessarily want people to say, oh, she's contoured her face. That's not the look I'm going for. So anyway, back to my story. So yeah, I plan to do some painting. I don't know if I will do proper tutorials or if I will just, what would you call that? Just paint and let people watch. I mean, I personally like videos like that. And I watch quite a few of them. I like to be able to just watch people in the zone and watch things emerge on their canvas or whatever their media is. And so see, that blends in really, at least I think it looks really nice. I mean, especially in real life. Now on camera, who knows? We're going with it. Because I feel like the camera tends to show everything. And I can look at my face and think, hey, that doesn't look too bad. And then I'll look at footage and think, you know, gosh, your skin looks worse than you thought it did. And I don't really like that, but you know, I also know that there's not a lot I can do about it. I mean, I don't want to put filters and I wouldn't even know how to put a filter on my camera, my filming and stuff like that. I mean, I know that it can be done and people, I guess people do it. But I want you to be able to see what I'm doing here and have it be as real as I can make it. So mostly I am powdering my T-zone, and this is the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil. And I put the most powder on my forehead because I tend to get creasing in those lines. And unless or until I get Botox, I'm going to have lines there. Okay. So, and then I'm just taking my brush with nothing extra on it, and I'm kind of bringing that down my neck and on my cheeks and stuff. Now I was going to do a cream bronzer, but I thought I'm not gonna wait anymore for my order from Sephora. I don't know. I made it 12 days ago and it still hasn't shipped. I don't know what that's about. But let me grab a bronzer here. Anyway, I ordered the Fenty bronzer, the cream one, and a couple of other things too that I'm kind of excited to get and hopefully show you guys. 12 days ago, I think. It's the 15th of May, and I ordered on I believe the 3rd, and it still hasn't shipped. So I'm getting a little impatient. I know, first world problems, right? But, ooh, pretty. So I'm just adding some powder bronzer. Like I say, this is the Fenty powder bronzer into Sun. And I like this. I've been using it a lot. It's a matte bronzer, which I kind of like. I don't mind a glowy bronzer, but that's not what I pulled out today. So, and then just a little bit on the kind of the sides of the nose, chin. And we are going to move on. So for blush, I think I'm going to use the Darling Duo from Jouer. I really like these blushes in general, and this one in particular is new to me. So I'm going to pick up the pinker of the two, and I think this one is also the more matte. And we're just going to blush up the cheeks here a little bit. So anyway, I hope that some of you that are watching will also come back and watch my art videos, whatever those happen to be. I've filmed things in my studio, like, I call them, a lot of people call them reveals, where you peel the tape off the edge of the paper and you get this nice clean line in your painting, along the edge of your painting. And there's something that's very satisfying about it. Anyway, I have filmed a couple of those in the past, not on my phone, just on my little Sony cam, which the quality of that camera is not the greatest. I'm hoping I can still put it to use. And I may do that for my art stuff, at least to begin with. We'll see. But I find that doing my face and doing artwork, they're not that far apart. They're both therapeutic. They can both be really frustrating. They can, they're very satisfying. They can make you feel really good if things go well. They can really piss you off if they don't go well. So I feel like they're not, I don't know, they're not that far apart for me. And so although maybe there's probably other people out there like myself that have painting or some other kind of art on their channel, and they do makeup too. I don't know. If you know of people like that, please tell me who they are in the comments, because I love that. I mean, I really do. At the same time, I'm hoping that I'm, you know, filling a little bit of a niche here and encouraging people to, I don't mean you have to put on a full face to go into your studio, but I myself quite like, I don't know, feeling put together and stuff when I go into my studio to work. Not that I haven't done plenty of painting sessions in my pajamas or my sweatpants or whatever, because I have. And that's fun too. But there's something, I don't know, it's a confidence thing. I mean, if you put on makeup to feel good, to feel confident, to feel prettier, whatever your reason is, to go to work or out to lunch with a friend or anything like that, then especially to work. I mean, if you think about it, going down to your studio or going up to your studio or whatever is it's not work. I don't mean work like capital W work, but I think it's good to think that way about it in a way. Like, I'm going downstairs, upstairs, out to the garage, wherever your studio might be, and I'm going to get some work done. And, you know, that's the kind of work that I like to do. I like to have fun at work. I mean, then it doesn't seem like work. Now, of course, every day is different, and I've had really good days in the studio, just like I've had really good makeup days. And then I've had, oh my God, those days where you're like, man, I suck, and why am I bothering, and this is terrible, and, you know, you just want to throw in the towel. But I've been at this long enough to know that you can't let yourself think that way for too terribly long. So before I get any further, I use the color Meteorite from the A Flutter palette under my eye here. And now I'm going to go into this color called Swallowtail. And it's kind of a dark purple color. And I'm just going to push that in a little bit closer to the lash line here. And bring it up to meet that wing. So let's see, I'm trying to think what else I might want to share. You know, if you guys have questions, and I don't care when it is, if it's 5 years after I publish this, you know, want to know something or whatever, then just, yeah, please ask, because I'm flying by the seat of my pants here and don't know what I'm doing, and that's okay. I think you don't always have to know what you're doing. So I think that, do I want to line that lower lash line? I think I will, just because it's already kind of transferred down there. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. And for whatever reason, I find doing my lower lash line is not nearly as problematic as doing my tight line. I don't know exactly why that is, but I do know that you have a dominant eye. I don't know if you knew that, but we have a dominant eye just like we have a dominant hand. And I think that that's why I can always get my tight line pretty nice on one eye, and then I struggle with the other eye, and invariably I manage to stab myself in the eye, like every time. So, but again, that's real life. And okay, so let me give a little bit more thought to what else I want to say. And I'm going to put some eyebrows on, and we are going to breeze through that. I'll either edit it out or I'll speed it up and put some music over it. Because I don't know about you, but brows are deadly boring to me. If I could get away with not doing them, that's what I would do. Okay, I am back. Brows are on. I'm gonna do my lips real quick because I am feeling dry. And I just want to get something on them. Okay, so this is the NYX lip liner in the color Nude Beige. And I am going to go in with the Jeffree Star liquid lipstick in Posh Spice. Now this looks really dark and gray. It doesn't look that way, it is that way. I am not a lipstick kind of person. You will likely never see me on my channel wearing a red lip or trying out a red lipstick. It's just not going to happen. Okay, so I'm going to blot that just a touch. And then I'm going to go over it with a gloss because I'm not a big fan of liquid lipsticks. I just think that I don't know, they're okay. But I think they can look really dry and unflattering on especially folks like me who have not had any kind of filler or anything like that. Not that I'm against it. Not that I'm not considering it. So this is one of the e.l.f. plumping lip glosses. They do have kind of a cooling sensation and that. I mean, I've never like put it on and measured my lips or anything like that, so. I'm gonna blot that again. And that kind of helps to liquefy that lipstick a little bit. Just take some of the color out because I was pretty light-handed, but it's pretty opaque. And then I'm going to put a little bit more on of the lip gloss. So, okay, I think we're good for, oh no, I know what I want to do. The whole reason, not the whole reason I'm here, but one of the main reasons I'm here is to share that highlighter palette that I was telling you about from Essence. I think I'm going to use the peach one, even though I've got a pink shirt on. We got a lot going on in my eyes, so we're going to go with the peachy one and see what we think. Oh yeah, that's pretty intense. That's more intense than I thought it might be, because the other one that most people talk about is the other nude, what do they call these? The nude, pure nude highlighters. And I can't think, I'm sorry, I can't think what like the actual shade is called. But it's really pretty, and it's very subtle. So I like a little bit on my my nose and just a touch above my arch on my brow, and just very lightly skim over my brow bone, because I don't usually put like a specific brow bone highlighter on. Just not my thing. Okay, I'm going to spray with a little Urban Decay all-nighter and fan myself a little bit. And being 50, I fan myself a lot. So that was a lot of spray. But I like these sprays because setting sprays, depending on the effect that you're going for, they can really transform the way something looks. They can either mattify a look that's just too much, too glowy for you, and they can add some glow back into something that ends up being more matte than you thought it would be. But I really do want to have a place where I can sit down and just, I don't know, talk, ramble probably, and have a, I don't know, a community, however small it might end up being, where I get to know you and you get to know me, and you get to know each other in the comments and stuff, and you know, we build on that. I am going to put some lashes on, and I will come back and we will see where we're at, and I'll give you some final thoughts and see if there's, in the meantime, I'm going to see if there's anything else that I can think of that I might want to tell you before I sign off here. And okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I am back, and I am just putting some earrings on, because why not? And before I get comments about where did you get the earrings, I usually am really good about remembering where I buy things, but I cannot for the life of me think where I got these. But they're pretty, so I'm going to wear them. I'm so happy that you joined me here today. I hope that I was informative and maybe a little entertaining, and I know this was all over the map, and I suspect that that's the way my videos are going to be for a while. And anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like this video if you liked it. Hit the bell if you so desire. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.